The crisis in Syria, the next 48 hours are critical for President Obama as he tries to convince a skeptical nation to back his push for military action in Syria. This is new video off the feeds right now of a protest happening outside of the White House. Protesters don't want the U.S. to get involved. Still, the Obama administration is out in full force today making their case.
President Obama has asked Congress for its support in this action because in a democracy, our policies are stronger, more effective, and more sustainable when they have the support of the American people and their elected leaders.
Despite that, a majority of Americans say they are against U.S. military action against the Syrian regime for its reported use of chemical weapons against civilians. The proof in new numbers out from a CNN poll showing 59% do not want Congress to pass a resolution authorizing a military strike. More than 7 in 10 say such a strike would not achieve significant goals for the U.S. So why are so many Americans opposed to stepping in the face of so much suffering and death? It's a complicated question that our own Brendan McLaughlin looked into today. Brendan?
That's right, Jameson. Americans are usually eager to help others in trouble, no matter how far away those people may be. But this conflict in Syria is different. Many Americans don't understand the dynamics of that civil war, and they don't believe what they're being told. On the USF campus, you'll find the same mixed emotions the national polls reveal about what America should do about the use of chemical weapons in Syria.
It's a tough position to be put in just because, the right thing to do is to step in.
It's terrible that there's gassing to me, but I feel like, we shouldn't be the world's police, and we don't need to put our money into every other situation when we have our own domestic problems.
The national mood is far different than 2003, when 70% of Americans supported invading Iraq. A nation just exiting a decade of war is now wary of any military involvement in another Mideast conflict.
When you send your Tomahawk missile, this is the beginning of a war. And once a war begins, no one knows how it's going to end.
USF professor Mohsen Milani is an expert in international affairs and diplomacy. This time, Milani says, the American people want more international support before attacking Syria, something Secretary of State John Kerry's been trying to drum up today. And Syria is complicated, with neighboring Iran sure to get involved and shadowy terrorists ready to capitalize on the chaos. It's a hard sell to the average American.
And they're unwilling to get involved in a conflict that has been going on for 2.5 years. About which they know very little about. Moreover, they are very concerned about the possibility of Al-Qaeda and the terrorists getting empowered as a result of a military intervention.
Now, Professor Milani points out that the president has options beyond simply attacking or not attacking. Diplomatic measures could force the Syrian government to give up whatever chemical weapons they have. Linda?
Thank you, Brendan. Well,